I 1000% regret creating a lifestyle off of my 9 to 5 income alone. Have you seen this economy? Hey girl, hey guy, it's Ty and welcome back to Ty's Adulting Handbook. On this channel, we discuss all things practical life skills, personal development, and things you just wish someone would have told you in order to prepare for this thing called life. Today, we're going to discuss a few tips on how to avoid creating a lifestyle from a 9 to 5 income alone. Today, we're going to discuss everything that I've learned and how we can help each other avoid the 9 to 5 lifestyle regret trap. I know that was a mouthful, but right now it's a lot going on in the economy. So let's get into it. Tip number 1, break away from the version of reality you were programmed to accept. So what am I saying? What I'm saying is that as we've grown up throughout life, we've all been programmed or conditioned in some kind of way that this is the way things are and this is the way that they should be, right? So we've all been conditioned by our environments growing up. And I'll give you a bit of an example. We've all known someone, maybe an aunt, uncle, maybe a parent, right? Where we've seen them work in the 9 to 5 lifestyle, driving the newer car. You would go to their house, they're living in like the nicest, newest, development, nicer neighborhood and everything like that. They were taking trips and everything like that. And of course, when we see those things, we idolize those things and we're like, man, that's nice. I can't wait to get a good 9 to 5 paying job so I can have that new whip and I can live over here and take these trips and go out of town. Now, keep in mind, back in those days, they were able to afford all these things off of a 9 to 5 income alone. Now, let's fast forward to 2025. It's looking really wild right now, right? People are getting laid off left and right. People are applying for jobs and they're getting ghosted. I've even seen a few videos of people that have been laid off from their career positions. Say, I think one guy was like a software engineer making over 120K a year. And at this point, just to make sure he has some kind of income coming in, because unemployment does not last that long, he ended up applying and working at like a Family Dollar or something like that, right? So understand that the times where a 9 to 5 was everything 10 years ago, here in 2025, times truly have changed where you want to make sure that you do not end up in a world of regret with creating a full lifestyle off of a 9 to 5 income alone. Once we have focused on removing the mental conditioning of how we were programmed, we're going to go ahead and go into tip number 2. Redefine what's important to you in your lifestyle. A wealthy lifestyle is often about time, autonomy, and peace, not just possessions. Let's break that down. Time equals freedom. We all exchange time for money, so it's very important that we pay attention to how we spend it and spend it wisely. Every purchase that we make represents the hours that we spent to work in order to pay for that item. So for example, let's say you make $25 an hour and you purchase something that was like $300. You actually had to put in 12 hours of work before taxes, but you had to put in 12 hours of work in order to be able to pay for that item, right? Now, let that sink in. Of course, that's an example that I'm giving. That's just a one-off example, meaning we all buy stuff, right? Be sure to focus on time cost ratios before spending. This goes a long way, and this goes for myself as well, of course. Take a second to think of all the extra hours we have to work because of the reoccurring debts that we've created. It's like, I'd rather be at home, sleep in my bed peacefully than working a second job or working overtime or what have you. You think about the high car note, the really nice apartment that you're paying for in the best of the best area where the rent is probably double, triple what it should be. And then all the overall purchases that we have to pay back, meaning those credit cards. Is it really worth it? Think about the lifestyle that you want to have for yourself. I'll be honest with you. I don't know about you, but I want a lifestyle where my bills are super low. My overhead is low. I'm investing in my future. I can have experiences. Now, of course, the playing field is totally different when you do have some kind of side hustle, business, or something that you're working on that pays you well over your 9 to 5 salary. But a lot of us are only receiving money, and I can't speak for everyone, right? But some people are only receiving their 9 to 5 income, paycheck to paycheck, and it's like, man, every time I get paid, the money goes back into the economy. I am sick of it, right? And times are totally different, like I said earlier. So with that, we want to be mindful. I think autonomy means having the freedom and power to make your own decisions about how you want to live without being overly controlled by employers, outside forces like cultural expectations, and most relevant, money stress, right? We don't want to be in a place where we can't sleep at night. We're tossing and turning. For some reason, we all fall for the shiny object syndrome, but we have to be able to slow our minds down in order to say, okay, if something were to happen with this job, right, and this is my only source of income, first off, how is my savings? Do I have 3 to 6 months worth of rent? What do I have going on financially? Have I started that new business or side hustle to make sure that I'm going to be okay? Let's think about it. Understand that our peace is precious. We want to sleep peacefully at night, knowing that we aren't making impulsive, long-term commitments on our sole income alone. Have an additional source of income in case anything does go on with your job, the economy, or even inflation. So remember, redefine what is important to you and your lifestyle. Tip number 3, open yourself up to more income-driven opportunities. Y'all could have guessed that this was going to be on the list, of course. While I'm sure that everyone prefers or would prefer to work one high-paying, stable job at the moment, for a lot of us, that's just not our reality. So you're probably like, Ty, what are you saying? What are you saying? What I'm saying is get online, apply for a second job, start a business, right? It's so many opportunities here. One thing that I want you to remember is that we are not victims, we are victors, and we will have the victory. You like that, don't you? Like that, don't you? But yeah, we just have to have that mindset that we need to be resourceful. A lot of times it's not that people lack resources, it's that they lack resourcefulness. So we have to tap into that with some additional source of income. Sometimes I definitely think about the stress of the whole paycheck to paycheck, like why did I sign up for this or why did I sign up for that? And with everything going on, it's like, okay, I have to look into another source of income, right? That's the mindset that we all want to make sure that we're having. At this point, we have to do what we have to do. From everything that I'm seeing, it seems as though, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please correct me if I'm wrong, it seems like the American dream is dead. A lot of people have been wanting to come to America, get a job, get a home, raise a family, all that. The housing market is awful. What else is it? The job market is awful. People can't find jobs and they're losing their jobs, right? So at this point, we have to do what we have to do in order to persevere and overcome all the adversity that's happening right now. There's no more staying at your job for 30 years. There's no more pension. You get a gold watch like how it was for a lot of our older family members 10 plus years ago. Times are different. So a few things to look into in order to bring in some additional income, right? Definitely utilize your online resources. You can apply on search engines like Indeed or what else is it? Indeed, LinkedIn. Get a TaskRabbit position. You can go to someone's home and put together furniture for them, put up curtains, some handyman work, something like that. You can even start a YouTube. All it takes is a student mentality and a level of consistency, right? And over time, it can pay you well. So I've heard. While I can say that, I definitely regret creating my lifestyle off of a 9 to 5 income. I've really taken the time over the last couple of years to dive into financial literacy, really understand what lifestyle creep is. Just because you make more money, you get a promotion, you get bonuses. If you work in sales, you get Bonuses, commission, anything additional do not change your lifestyle, especially right now with the current economy. Being a slave to things is not ideal. Life is for living and enjoying, not repeatedly exchanging your time for money. Never being able to have that freedom of time to save exponentially is not the way of life. I hope that this has helped someone with these few tips that I decided to share. We're gonna get through this. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.